Okay, the channel is live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on So Many Levels. We're going to play Lasers and Feelings.
Woo!
LNF. What? That doesn't
What?
come out the same. Pew pew.
I'm
Hug.
I am Christiana Ellis, and I am the game master tonight. And as you can see, normally on Tuesdays we play our Dungeons and Dragons campaign, but we are down some players at the moment. One of them won't be able to join this evening at all. One of them is just to arrive later. But tonight we're going to be playing an excellent, very simple Star Trek like TTRPG called Lasers and Feelings. And so our players tonight, Mark Kilfoyle,
Hey, I have no idea who I am.
Starla Hutchton. Oh, we
Muted.
didn't hear you because you were muted.
My bad.
Aw.
Sorry. I don't know who I am either. Bye. Hi.
And Paul Fisher, technically not there yet. What we are
Not
seeing
even.
is a piece of paper over the camera, but he will show up eventually, and we'll have to figure out who he is when he does. But so here's how Lasers and Feelings works. I'm going to just read some of the text right from the game here. So, you are the crew of the interstellar scout ship Raptor. Your mission is to explore uncharted regions of space, deal with aliens both friendly and deadly, and defend the consortium worlds against space dangers. Captain Darcy has been overcome by the strange psychic entity known as something else, leaving you to fend for yourselves while he recovers in a medical pod. And so, as you can see, we're going to deal with some space dangers. Star Trek, but numbers filed off. Speaking of numbers, let's make some characters. First thing that you need to do is you need to choose a style for your character. And the ones that they list here as choices are certainly all available, but you can also make up one of your own if none of those are doing it for you. But the ones they list: alien, android, dangerous, heroic, hotshot, intrepid, or savvy.
Inconveniently, there's 7. And there are only 6 on this die.
Well, you could roll a d8.
And then it could be anything with the number 8.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what that does.
8 means
And
you have to choose one, or you
I
just
immediately
roll
rolled an 8. Fail.
Well, you could roll again.
What does intrepid mean in this context?
Intrepid, I think, in this case would probably mean like earnest, brave, well-meaning, determined, but also maybe a little bit hapless.
That sounds like me. I'm going to go with that one.
Okay.
I mean, well.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with what I rolled. Dangerous.
Ooh, okay.
Do you also mean well?
Well.
I meant, well,
So the next thing that you do is you choose a role for your character: doctor, envoy, engineer, explorer, pilot, scientist, or soldier.
Let's see.
now I'm fighting against the roll. The purpose of rolling is not to find out what I want, it's to find out whether I don't like what I found.
Trying to think.
Well, we
Like
are playing
Star
a
Trek
one-shot.
wise.
The stakes are very
Yeah.
high.
Star Trek wise, I'm trying
Mhm.
to. I'm paging through all of the characters that I can remember to
Mm-hmm.
find myself a archetype.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, there are only, what, 7 series, and
Yeah, but I'm really a TNG kind of. That was like my
Ah,
my
Mm-hmm.
starter.
starter set.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Same. Same. You know.
Well, you know what? I am going to use the dice.
All
The
right.
dice are telling me that I am a dangerous doctor.
Dangerous doctor. Okay.
Well, that kind of settles it for me. I'm going to be an intrepid scientist.
Okay. Starla as an intrepid scientist, Mark as a dangerous doctor. Now you're going to choose your number, and you're picking a number from 2 to 5. The higher the number is, the better you are at lasers, which is like technology, science, cold rationality, calm, precise action. And then a low number means you're better at feelings, intuition, diplomacy, seduction, or wild, passionate action. And so you just need to pick what your number is.
3.
3, right down the middle.
Sparks McGee. So I'm reading the PDF.
Sure.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not picking that.
Yeah. I was tempted to roll, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't like to roll either. Let's see. Technology or feelings?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Dangerous doctor probably goes with more feelings. So let's
Yeah.
go 5.
Okay.
5 is a feelings number, right?
Well, 5 is, you would want 2 if you want to be better
2.
at
Okay.
feelings.
That's what I said.
Okay. All right. And so the next is you need to give your character a cool space adventure name. Like Sparks McGee or something is in the text here, which is what Starla was referring to a moment ago.
Larks McPhee.
Yeah, my name is already a little on the nose, so
Mm-hmm.
Sparka.
um I got it. Aurora.
Okay.
That's the color of lip stain that I put on.
All right.
You're making this
Aurora.
look easy. Well, I'm going to start with Doctor.
Okay.
Doctor Who.
I don't know. I'm tempted to have Danger as his middle name. I'm also tempted to say Dr. Max Danger.
Yeah. No, that is an acceptable name.
Sure.
Their
Dr.
example
Max,
one that they
Max
provide
Danger.
is Sparks McGee. Dr. Max Danger. All
Danger's also my middle name. It was a very confusing childhood. He's Dr. MD. That wasn't planned.
Ah, serendipity. It means it was meant to be. Okay, so now that you have your cool space adventure names, the gear that you have as a consortium member, you have your uniform. It has a built-in vac suit for spacewalks. You have a super sweet space phone camera communicator scanner thing with universal translator, of course. And you have a variable beam phase pistol, set to stun usually. Your player goal is the last choice you're going to make for your character. And they have some example goals, but of course you can also choose anything you like other than that. They have as examples you could become captain, meet new aliens, shoot bad guys, find new worlds, solve weird space mysteries, prove yourself, or keep being awesome, as in you have nothing to prove. Did I spell Aurora
I'm
right?
torn between solving weird space mysteries and keep being awesome. They both sound fun.
What was your character's name again, Starla? Aurora?
Aurora.
Aurora, like Borealis, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Is that her last name, Borealis?
Well, I'm thinking like because this is sort of
Glorialis.
a military setting, it would probably be something like Officer Aurora or something like that. So it'd probably be her last name. Doesn't really matter.
She can just
Or
be
I could
called
just be
just
cool
Aurora.
and just have the one name.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Also,
we'll do that.
incidentally, even though alien was one of the styles and neither of you chose it, you don't have to be human. That's not. It's not like a default. It's just to choose an alien style would mean not just that you are non-human, but that you have like something like unusual or strange about you. So you can be human, or you don't have to be. Um, did you pick a goal, Dr. Max Danger?
Oh, I see now. I see that's too. It's
No, I'll do
dangerously
it.
close.
I'm still just
Uh,
getting used to it.
I think I'll take meet new aliens for fun.
Okay. Meet new aliens.
Although the role did come up as shoot bad guys.
Aurora, did you decide which one you wanted?
I like the solve weird space mysteries
All
one.
right. You are a scientist, after all. An intrepid one, no less. Okay. So, now we have to create the ship. We already know that we're on the interstellar scout ship Raptor, but we need to choose 2 strengths for the ship. And some of the examples they offer are fast, nimble, well armed, powerful shields, superior sensors, cloaking device, or fighter craft.
I like fast.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Mark?
I kind of like superior sensors.
Okay. Fast and superior sensors. Sensors. I can type. But there is a problem with the Raptor. And so some of the examples they have there is like it's a fuel hog, always needing more energy crystals. Only one medical pod, and Captain Darcy is in it. Horrible circuit breakers in battle consoles tend to explode on the bridge. Or grim reputation. Captain Darcy did some bad stuff in the past. And of course, always you can choose anything else. It doesn't have to be one on that list.
I like the last one, but I'm not set on it.
Reputation.
I think that could be some interesting, like, conversational stuff. But
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Sure. Okay. Now comes the part where we'll just discuss the mechanics very briefly. When you are going to do something risky, and again, anytime you're doing something that I don't think is risky, I'm not going to make you roll for it. But if you are doing something risky, you're going to roll 1d6 to find out how it goes. And if you are rolling a lasers roll, you're trying to do a lasers thing, then you want your die to roll under your number. And so that means that because Dr. Max Danger has a number of 2, if he's trying to do a lasers thing, he needs to roll a 1. Or if you are trying to do a feelings roll, it's the reverse, right? If Dr. Max Danger is trying to roll a feelings roll, you need to roll, above 2. But if you roll exactly your number, that does count as a success. So technically, a 1 or a 2 would be a laser success. But if you get your number exactly, you have laser feelings, which means it not only counts as a success, but you get to ask me a question about what's going on, and I will answer it. And so if you are prepared, like there is something that has already happened that would set you up for success on your roll, you can roll 2d6 and then pick, and then you are checking whether either of them is a success. Likewise, if you are an expert, like, for example, because Aurora is a scientist, if you were doing a science-specific roll, you would be an expert, right? And so you can, for being prepared or an expert, you would add 1d6, so you would be rolling up to 3d6 total. If none of your dice succeed, it goes wrong somehow. If 1 succeeds, you just barely you just barely accomplish whatever you're trying to do, but there's a complication. If you get 2, then you did it well. Good job. If you get 3, critical success. So, and if you want to help someone with their role, you have to do your own role based on whatever it is that you're doing to help. And if you succeed, they get to roll an extra die. So theoretically, you could potentially be rolling up to 4d6 if you were helped with something you're already an expert in and someone else had already done something to prepare for that. But most of the time, probably we're going to be rolling either 1 or 2 dice. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about the mechanics there? All right.
Nope.
It's very simple. I think we will find that it becomes readily apparent very quickly once we actually get going. But now comes the part where I am going to roll 4d6 to find out what the adventure is. But I'm rolling these in secret because you guys don't know what the adventure is yet. You're just the characters. Where's my other d6? I don't have a 4th d6. All right. Well, I'll get out my little. I don't have tons of dice on my dice tray at the moment. So, but I do have this little pouch of tiny little dice. So I'm getting out the d6 from there because it'll be the 4th one. So, all right.
I feel like I want to reach over to the multiple sets of tiny dice that I have.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay.
Tonight's dice rolling adventure brought to you
Okay.
by Time Passing.
Okay. All right. So I have now randomly rolled on the tables provided with the game to generate a randomized space adventure for our characters. So as we begin, I think that we're going to be fading in on scientist Aurora and Dr. Max Danger doing something on the ship. It can be a leisure activity, or you can be doing something professionally, but it's something where you're already both together.
Well, what if I went to check on the captain's status in the medbay? And the doctor would be there, right?
Sure.
I mean, it's a pod. There's not much for me to do for this case. There is one addendum to his name. It's Dr. Max Power, PhD. So he is Dr. MD, PhD.
Oh, okay? So is it Power or Danger?
Or sorry, Danger. Yes.
Okay.
Power was my cousin.
Okay. So wait, Max. Okay, Dr. Mac. Wait, hang on. Say
Dr. Max Danger, PhD.
Okay. Well, let me add that to your little name.
So
tag.
he's Doctor.
He's Dr. MD, PhD.
Okay.
Probably as you enter, he's tinkering with the pod.
All right. So what do each of your characters look like?
Dangerous.
Very intrepid.
Probably standard uniform, but somehow it always looks ripped, as if it's made kind of very worn material. Probably patched quite a bit too, actually, which the parts are actually worn.
You've described only the clothing so far.
Sure, yeah. Thinking. Probably
Do you need a
clean.
minute? Or are you good?
Yeah, if you got something, go for it.
Um, let's see. Okay, so she's tall and hair always up in a very tight, highly placed bun. So, it'll be dark hair, just
Mhm.
yeah. Um, and then are we gonna do like the different colors of uniforms like they do in Star Trek? Because I think
Sure.
mm,
Although
see
in
there was
Star
the
Trek,
red, the
often
gold,
science
and the
and medical would be
blue.
the same color, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
It can be whatever
Yeah.
colors we want because this is not Star Trek or whatever
Hmm.
that other show is. This is all about the consortium. It's not the Federation. So yeah.
Uniforms aren't my forte, which is funny coming from me. But um, so tall. We'll do a uniform that looks a lot like the doctor's, but there's a very special insignia, and of course not ripped, but there's a little insignia um, pin, I guess, or
Hmm.
patch, something like that, that indicates the difference.
Hmm. Hmm. All right.
Um, let me go for the highly coiffed hair with kind of gold blonde kind of hair that's sort of swept back in a fancy curl.
Hmm.
Sideburns, definitely having sideburns that go down to about mid cheek, but clean shaven, large cleft chin. Um, and probably either a pen or a scalpel tucked behind his ear almost at all times. Sometimes it's the wrong one,
Yeah.
but
Like yeah. Don't mix this up.
damn it, that's the second pad today.
So I would like to go ahead and see this scene. I want to give each of you pretty much carte blanche to invent, details in world building and all of that stuff. Like invent whatever you want about backstory or how the ship works or whatever. I will stop you if I ever think it's too much. So, camera fades in, medical bay of the Raptor. There's a pod in the background, bleep, 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 with a
Tink,
dark face of
tink,
Captain Darcy
tink.
inside.
The door slides open with a whoosh, and in strides the tall and willowy Officer Aurora. So the crew is wondering what's the status on Captain. Has anything changed? Are we looking at I don't know. What is the recovery time on this? Do you have any idea?
Most of the yellow lights have now turned green, which is a really good indication that things are working properly in the pod. I still think that I can make a few modifications to make it a little bit faster. It may result in slight skin rash and or loss of speech, but I'm sure that would recover in time.
I'm sure the captain will love that.
It didn't go so bad last time. The captain recovered. It may have taken a couple of weeks in a different pod, but you know, this is what's necessary on the frontier of existence as we know it. Out here, there could be anything. You might discover that, I don't know, bladders of a certain species are very, very useful and might, when implanted within a humanoid body, make them less susceptible to alcohol. Wouldn't that be a benefit to everybody?
Yeah, but a lot less fun. Anyway,
Oh, I'm sure there's some fun attachments I can get too.
so I'm gonna kind of peer in the pod and like tap on the glass, see if he responds at all, which I don't think he does, but it's kind of like having an aquarium, isn't it?
Very slow aquarium. Oh, if I flooded the room with water, we could add extra things in here, and the pod would become a
Your
perfect center
communicator
point.
badges beep, indicating that there's a message for you.
Ah, what is it for us?
Yeah.
Go
So,
ahead.
um, eh, Officer, Science Officer Aurora, Medical Officer Dr. Max Danger, PhD. I have on my notes here that while Captain Darcy is indisposed, you are the senior officers on this shift. I have a mission for you. This
Hmm.
is the Admiral, by the way.
Oh,
Admiral
that clears things up.
Jones. You know me. I'm that guy.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir. We will head to the debriefing room.
Excellent.
Would you debrief us along the way?
I'm actually just calling you on a video call, so like I'm not going to go anywhere, but you can transfer the call in there, I suppose. That works.
Don't
I'll
talk too
wait.
loudly. The captain's right here. He might hear you about being replaced. He'd hate that.
So as you assemble in the briefing room, I would imagine you may have some, other officers there, but the two of you are sort of in command, such as it is, of the ship at the moment. And so the Admiral says, we have received reports that the space pirate queen, Blorga the Destructor, has been spotted on her way to Euphonium 3. And that, as you must know, is one of our most critical agricultural colony planets. We cannot afford to have the space pirates, interfere with our, food supply resources. And also, probably, we don't want them to hurt the people there. So this is a strange mission for the space pirate. Usually they are in the business of high waylaying ships on important cargo routes. Usually they don't go to planets directly, and so this is a bit of a strange case. And I want you to take the Raptor out there to investigate why. And, stop them if they're going to do something bad, which is almost certainly.
Well, they are pirates.
Kind of in the name.
Yes. And, while I don't necessarily want to apply blanket generalizations of a moral judgment nature to any particular occupation, it is my experience that most pirates are destructive and operating in contrast to consortium values. And also, in this particular case, that is a very valuable planet that gives us a lot of food. We don't need them to mess that up.
What do we know
So-
about space pirate queen Norga? Norga?
Blorga, the
Lorga.
Destructor. Well, perhaps if you want to know something about the space pirate queen, you should roll me a feelings roll.
Oh. Rolled a 4.
So a 4 is over your number, so that is a success. And in this case, I think what you know is that Blorga the Queen is actually in charge of a fleet. She does have her own sort of massive command ship, but more often the reputation is that ships will get hijacked or boarded by the smaller ships in that fleet, but it's clear that they all serve Blorga, and they're very destructive and very dangerous. But also, as the Admiral mentioned, they tend to operate in the shipping lanes and have their own sort of hidden headquarters somewhere. They're not usually reported as being closing in on planets.
And about Blorga themselves, we know what species, what organs they have.
I think that they have. This is a creature that is sort of very insectoid in anatomy. They're very big. I imagine. I think a great big praying mantis, but of course sentient and with a great big butt.
So I just had a thought. Remember how we chose Grim Reputation
Mm-hmm.
for the captain.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe that's not an ex-girlfriend.
Oh, boy. Captain Darcy gets around, huh? It's like, I
I mean,
know that there might be some complicated feelings there on the Raptor sending you after Blorga, but you are the only ship close enough to intercept her capital ship before it reaches Euphonium 3.
Well, I suppose we should head that way then.
yeah, and we're probably going to go planet side. You know what this means? Inoculations all around. I'll get my needles ready.
Fantastic. So they sign off, and I see that we've got camera feed now from our third player, Paul Fisher,
Live from below decks.
which means it's just about time for you to choose a third member of your mission team. And we'll have Paul go through and make his character really quick once he is actually in his chair. I'm not sure why he revealed the camera if he wasn't actually ready to sit down yet, but I'm sure it will be soon. I think it's going to take a little while for the Raptor to travel to where you're going. What is it that either of you are doing during that travel time?
Probably reading up on the species that Blorga is.
Sure, sure. Go ahead and make a lasers roll for me. And I think if if you want to know specifically like scientific stuff about them, then you can roll 2d6.
I'm looking for like weaknesses in the anatomy of that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I got a 1 and a 3.
Okay, so your number was 3, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So the 1 is a success, and the 3 is your laser feelings. And so you have 2 successes, which means that you do it well. Good job. And I'll give you an answer. But also, you got laser feelings, so you can ask me another question about the adventure so far. And it can really be anything, although obviously from storytelling purposes, we don't want to just ask things like, what's the answer to the mystery? That sort of thing.
Also, let's see. I think I would want information on her ship,
Okay.
if any is available.
Well, so this is not a category. You ask me a
Right.
specific question and I will answer it. And I will also give you the answer for your role as well.
Okay.
I can do that first and then you ask the question if you want.
Yeah, do that first.
Okay.
Then I'll ask the question.
So what you know about this species is known as the thick mantis. And they are reported to be extremely carnivorous, or even like omnivorous, but like pannivorous. Like they want to eat sentient creatures, but it can be any sentient creature. So it's not just like, oh, they're cannibals because or they just eat humans. They will eat anything, but it has to be a sentient creature. So they don't have to eat very often, but it's just always, whenever you get boarded by one of them, it's like a question of like, oh gosh, are they hungry today? You don't know. And it would be scary if they are. And they are certainly very dangerous in a fight because these are, big boys and or girls or indeterminate because they're insects. And I think it's unclear if they have traditional what's exactly their gender deal. But it is a pirate queen, so at least there's pronouns. But anyway, they are a threat. They're like 9 feet tall. They have big old pincers. They're big old abdomen hindquarters. They can swing them around like a big club. And they also, have spaceships and guns and stuff.
Okay, so my question, narrowing
Mhm.
it down. Are there any, let's see. I'm trying to pick the best question here.
Sure. No, like don't worry
Okay.
too over much
Yeah,
about this.
we'll just start with the
yeah.
basics. Do we know what kind of ship that she has? I assume so because they've spotted it, right?
Yes. So she has, as I mentioned, a fleet, but her capital command ship is an enormous battle station that is not actually often seen because usually people see their smaller ships, but their command ship seems to be the one that was spotted in this case, and it is it's a floating battle station, basically. Not the size of a moon, but big for a ship, and it presumably has hundreds of thick mantae on it. And it is a ship known as the Obliterator. Hi there, Paul.
Hi.
It's time for you to make a character.
Yes, I was reading that part.
Yeah.
I have chosen to be a hotshot pilot. My number is
Oh.
4.
Okay.
And I think my name should be Buck Sparkmeister.
Hotshot pilot.
That's as far as I got reading.
Sure. Buck Sparkmeister, is that what you said?
Yes.
Meister. Okay, let me add that to your little name tag here on the layout. Okay. I think Sparkmeister might be long enough. I might have to hyphenate it. And okay. Oh no, that'll work. That'll work. Yeah. Okay. Whoops. There we go. Okay, and so you need a goal. What is your character's goal?
Character goal.
And the examples they have are like become captain, meet new aliens, shoot bad guys, find new worlds, solve weird space mysteries, prove yourself, or keep being awesome. Mark's character, Dr. Max Danger, PhD, wants to meet new aliens. Starla's character, Aurora, is an intrepid scientist who wants to solve weird space mysteries.
I want to keep being awesome because that's who I am.
Awesome. Okay, so you have now been briefed that the fearsome pirate queen, Blorga the Devastator, or I think I said Destructor before. I think it depends on, there's a lot of, variation in the stories, because I think people are so scared when they get boarded by some of these pirates that sometimes they mishear it. And so you sometimes get reports that it's Destructor and sometimes it's Devastator. But
Destructivator.
yes, but you've received word that you need to intercept Blorga the Devastator Destructor's capital ship, which has been spotted en route to the important agricultural planet of Euphonium 3. And you don't know why she's going there, but it seems like it's got to be bad news. And so your ship has been sent to do that. So first, tell us what Buck Sparkmeister looks like, and then tell us how you are getting us to the Euphonium 3 to intercept.
Buck is tall. He's got a big square jaw, dark hair, dark eyes.
Wait, did we make you? Tall and square jawed. She's tall, I'm square jawed.
We learned that Buck was actually created due to a complicated transporter accident.
Something cloning, and I don't know.
Yeah, accident. That's what the record said anyway.
And so are you doing something to try to help the Raptor reach Euphonium 3 before the Obliterator?
Well, seeing as I am the hotshot pilot, I
Mm-hmm.
am plotting the course that will get us there the quickest,
Mm-hmm.
using the least amount of fuel, and when we get there, we will be battle ready.
All right, so I think that that is something you are an expert in. So you're going to roll 2d6, and you're trying to get results that are lower than 4.
And the
Okay.
Raptor, by the way, is fast with superior
Yes.
sensors and a grim reputation.
Yes, and in
I
fact,
was about to add that. Yeah.
I was going to say fast maybe is going to give you prepared as well. I think so. Go ahead and roll 3d6.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just capturing all of this.
Mm-hmm.
3d6. Alrighty. I got 13.
No, each result, not you don't add them up.
Oh, 3, 4, and 6.
Okay, so 6 is a failure, but a 3 is a success, and a 4 is your laser feelings. So you have 2 successes, which means you did it well. Good job. You have arrived at Euphonium 3 ahead of the Obliterator, and you are battle ready when you arrive. And because you got a laser feelings, that means you can ask me a question about the adventure, and I will answer it.
Has anyone ever fought this pirate queen, and what happened if they did?
Yes, and they were blown up and or eaten.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't face me.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. So as you arrive in orbit, what were you doing on that journey, Dr. Max Danger, PhD?
Making sure the crew had their mandatory, I was going to say vaccinations, but that's not the right term. Inoculations, that's
I
it.
thought you were going to say vasectomies.
No, that's next month. The inoculations, by the way, are a special new concoction that I really want to test out.
Okay. Well, I was going to say it was maybe going to be a feelings roll to see if you persuade everybody, but now it sounds like there's science involved. So I think that you are the doctor, so you would be an expert in that regard, but it is a lasers roll. So you're rolling 2d6, and you're trying to get below your number of 2.
That is a 1 and a 6.
Okay, so that means 1 success. What was your new special inoculation formula designed to do?
In this case, it could allow you to eat anything without having to worry about getting sick.
Oh,
You can
fantastic.
try all the foods and all the exotic foods.
I think that you discover that this new formulation does actually work, but it does have the side effect of making everybody just constantly have to burp. Just like, not like literally every second, but it's just kind of like, just got, a little bit of that indigestion sort of all the time. It's, the result of the, the supercharged digestive system that you've given them.
As Lieutenant Aurora would say, or operator or officer, whatever the title is, science. It works. More or less. I'll just put the fine print on. No one will care. Warning: may cause stomach upset.
Yeah. So as you come into orbit around Euphonium 3, you are hailed by the planet.
Hail planet.
Oh.
We should probably get that. I think you're in charge, aren't you, Officer Lieutenant? What is your title?
I'm the pilot. I answer.
Okay. On the screen is a middle-aged lady in overalls and a big straw hat, and she's chewing on a big stalk of wheat or something, and she just says, "Oh, thank goodness you've arrived. I knew the consortium would send someone to protect us. We grow a lot of food for the consortium."
No, that's good. We like to eat food. That works out really well for everybody.
Yeah, sure enough. Oh, I did not introduce myself, did I? I am Daisy, and I am the president of Euphonium 3.
Hi, Daisy. I am Commander Buck Sparkmeister, pilot of this here ship, the Raptor.
So, are you going to protect us from the pirates?
We are going to die trying or protect you. I'm not sure which.
I think there's a third option, but we haven't found it yet.
Yes.
Well, I know that of the options you've listed so far, I think we have a distinct preference. I would imagine it's the same one as you have.
Yes, to succeed
Yeah,
in
that one.
stopping them.
Uh-huh,
Yes.
uh-huh.
Yes.
So, how are you going to do it? I can't help but notice that your ship is a lot smaller than the one that's supposedly coming.
That's true.
Size and everything. We can compensate for that.
I don't know. I think we'll try to negotiate or maybe threaten them.
Well, so we've got some, panicking populace down here. I wonder if any of you have some like words of reassurance that you could give us to help us not be terrified and panicking and afraid of death and imminent destruction of everything we know and love.
Absolutely. We're here to help. Aurora, go ahead.
If
Scientist
you
of
would
none
like, you
other.
can go ahead and make a feelings roll, and then based on what you roll, you can give your answer accordingly.
Okay.
I don't know if I was helping.
No, I don't think you were helping.
No.
I think this is a 1d6 roll. Doesn't
Yep.
seem like you're an expert in this. You were not prepared. Very
Get a
specifically,
two.
not prepared. Okay, so your number is 3. And
3.
so because you
Oh, yeah.
rolled lower than that on a feelings roll, that's a failure. So, do you want to give your answer, which does not reassure the people of Euphonium 3?
Like the only thing that I could think of to say is like, we might be small, but we are mighty.
Relax, not all of you are going to
I
die.
think that would do much, but
I think there's just sort of that frozen smile on the president's face for a second. It's like, well, I guess there's still prayer. So, bye. And then she like her face is like pale, and she just signs off.
That went well.
Yes. Yes, it did. Excellent. We are so good.
We are probably going to have a plan at some point, though.
What do you think? Do you think we could try diplomacy?
Well, the captain tried diplomacy. He's still alive, so that must have worked.
Hmm.
the captain, from what I understand, tried a lot of things, and you'd have to ask him about the success.
I cannot speak to a patient I've had to treat multiple times.
Should we maybe do some recon?
Strangest
Do we have
thing
like
is why
scout
they're
ships
coming
or something
here.
that we can?
We are the scout ship.
You do have
Well-
superior sensors.
It's true.
We should use our superior sensors to reconnaissance the incoming threatening shipness and maybe come up with a plan on how I'm going to beat it.
We can do that, and probably will do that, but I'm kind of curious as to why they're coming here. They normally go after the space lanes, where all the space cars are, and that's easy pickings from what I understand. That's what all the vids have told me. So, why come to a planet where you have to pick your own vegetables? That doesn't make any sense.
So, question about the sensors, scanners that we have.
Yeah.
What all do they do, or can we just make it up?
I think you can make it up.
Because I'm wondering if we can scan the planets life forms for what did you say they were called? Thick mantis?
Thick mantis.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Any
That's
of
the
those on the
singular. It
planet.
is thick manti if you're talking the
Mhm.
plural. Okay. Yeah. So I think that that is absolutely the sort of thing you can roll for.
Okay.
Now, because the Raptor does have superior sensors, this would be a prepared roll. And in fact, I think that you know, as a scientist, this would be fall within your expertise. So this is a lasers roll, and you can roll 3d6.
Okay, I got a 4, a 5, and a 4.
Okay, that is 3 successes. That's a
Oh,
critical
okay.
success.
I cannot keep these straight in my head. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. That's all right. It's just depending on it's you want below it if you're rolling lasers. Wait, no, you know what? So I did it wrong. That means you got 3 failures. You're right. So it was a lasers roll, which means you did want below your number.
So then would the other wait, I'm confused right now.
Okay,
So
yes. So
feelings you want a higher number?
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Okay,
So you rolled lasers and got
right.
3 numbers that were above your number of 3, which means those are 3 failing numbers, and I said it wrong. So it's very
think for a moment
easy,
you
except
succeeded,
that
Can
then
you
someone else be
constantly
in
have
charge?
to.
Like this is not going well.
Yeah. So here's the thing: you rolled 3 and got 3 failures. I think that you discover your sensors are being jammed, and you realize all of a sudden, as you're trying to figure out why your sensor's not working, suddenly the ship lurches, and everybody is suddenly having to roll lasers in order to see how they handle the ship suddenly lurching underneath their feet.
Love how we didn't get the memo and Paul and I went in opposite directions.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like, oh wait, no, that did.
that never happens on the show.
Never.
So you are all rolling 1d6 to trying to get below your number,
2.
which is a success.
5.
I'm putting the other ones in
Uh,
dice jail.
I think
So this is
5
a
is
lasers
a
roll?
failure. Yes.
Okay, a 4 is a failure.
Okay. So although Aurora is able to hold her feet, and not be tossed across the bridge, I think both Buck Sparkmeister and Dr. Max Danger, PhD, are thrown from their seats and tossed across the room, and they are given a nice little cosmetic bruise on their cheek to indicate that they've been hurt a little bit.
Now we know we're in it.
Yes. It turns out that you are all now in a tractor beam. The Obliterator has snuck up behind you while you were scanning and now has got the Raptor locked in a tractor beam, and they're hailing you. Beep, beep.
Put it through.
I answer it.
All right. All of a sudden, there she is, Blorga the Destructor and or Devastator, in all of her fearsome insectile glory on the screen, and she looms close to the camera and says, "Hey guys, I didn't know you were gonna be here. That's cool. That's so great. I thought you might be scared at first, so that's why I got you in a tractor beam. But don't worry, it's all gonna be cool."
That's so awesome. You're so awesome.
Yeah, yeah. You guys are probably awesome too. I just met you, but I bet I could tell.
We are awesome. Seriously. Seriously awesome.
Well, I've got good news for you guys. Because
Awesome.
Yeah, because I have got presents for all of you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, super awesome.
and I just know you're going to love them.
You're so nice.
if you all could just go ahead and shut down your engines, we'll bring those presents over for you right away.
Should I trust her?
Make a feelings roll.
Something about this doesn't feel quite right. Feelings, okay.
Yeah, so you're trying to get above your number.
I did not. Amazingly enough, I rolled a 1.
Okay, well,
Sounds good to me.
She's got a great vibe. Yeah, she's just like something. You were so scared there for a second.
I mean, I've never met a thick mantis before that I didn't like. I've also never met a thick mantis before,
Maybe
so this was perfect.
You're starting to understand Captain Darcy a little better.
Yeah.
Can I pass a note to the pilot?
Sure.
The note should say something to the effect of, "How can we get out of here immediately?"
So I think that I first, just for flavor, do you have like a little notepad? How are you
Oh,
passing
sure.
a note?
It's a space notepad.
Well,
You're
actually, it'd
on a
probably be
ship,
more like,
right?
because
So,
we
like-
have that little device thingy,
Yeah.
so it'd probably be like just sending him a text message real quick.
So you look like a bored teenager who's scrolling Instagram while this is going on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just like my phone.
That's why she wasn't thrown out of her seat. She
That's
was
right.
relaxed while the two of us were all tense.
Yeah. So, I think that you can have, been sending that message. And in the meantime, Blorg is just saying, so, I don't want this to feel like an ultimatum or whatever, but, just go ahead and shut the engines down and lower the shields, and it'll be so much faster. I mean, we could do this another way, but that's not cool. So let's just
What? Do what another way? You're gonna send us presents a different way? What other way is there to send presents than to lower shields and turn off engines?
I mean, Santa can do it.
So small problem. I'm so sorry, Blorga, but we have a bit of a situation on the ship.
Oh,
We're
no.
sort of, yeah, we've got something going around and we're kind of quarantined, so we can't really have other people on the ship.
Damn,
so
we do? Why wasn't I notified?
Mhm.
Let me get my kit.
Go ahead and make me a feelings roll. I think because it's a science-based lie, I'll let you have expertise on it.
I am not helping.
Okay, I got a 2 and a 3.
Okay, so one of those is a success because it's your laser feelings.
Mhm.
So first, I want you to give me a little bit more sci-fi mumbo jumbo about the nature of this quarantine.
Well, we picked it up planet side. One of our crew members picked it up planet side. A rather ill-conceived attempt at how do I phrase this properly?
It's not space herpes, is it? I just cleared everybody.
One of our crew members got a little attached to another person that was on this planet that we were on, and contracted something really, really nasty little bug. Like, it'll, if not contained properly, will just like liquefy the insides and sometimes the outsides too. It's really, really, really nasty. Do not recommend. So our lower decks are flooded. Seems like a poor choice of words, but we were kind of hoping to find some stuff on this planet that might help us out.
Wow.
That sounds really, really bad.
Yeah. So this is going to be a mixed success, but you also did get laser feelings, and so you can ask me a question.
My question is, are there any known, so with regular like bugs, there's always like some kind of like a deterrent that will, like some kind of chemical that will keep them away.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something like that for the thick manti?
Of course. but it's a very rare chemical that is hard to come by.
Liquefied people.
No, they like that.
Slurpees.
Yeah. But so I think that it is the sort of let's say that it is a chemical that can make essentially space raid, and it takes a lot of time to synthesize, is what it is. So that is what you know, and I think so. Here's your mixed success is like, oh no, like most parasites are like, ugh, right? Ugh. Now the good news is that my present can take care of that problem for you. But because you got a bunch of sickies at the moment, I can understand if it'll take you a little time to get yourself all set up. So you just get all of your sickies in like your cargo bay or somewhere all together, and we can help them all at once. So I'll give you an hour instead of demanding that you lower the shields right now, because I know you don't want to rush someone when they've got a parasite.
That's very kind of you.
We appreciate your
We'll
understanding.
we'll talk to you in an hour or so.
All right, bye.
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 And they sign off. You are
Why
still
wasn't
called
I
the
told
tractor
about this? I really should have been working on this the whole time. Man.
Well, I was gonna try and break the tractor beam,
Mhm.
but you bought us some time. That's good.
So just to as a follow up on Roll's earlier, something's off. Like you looked up what her reputation is, and kind of like
She seems nice.
she's called Blurga the Destructor.
Kind of disappointed, really.
So, doctor, what do you know about?
Make up the chemical name.
Well, yeah. Okay, chemical name. um,
Antimatter? Antimanter?
I think it has to be that now, right?
Yes.
yeah, absolutely has to be that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was also going to ask, well, you know what? I'm a scientist. Maybe I'm a biologist. I don't know. So I got to do some of my
You
own
are
research.
today. Well, that's just nasty. Really, really smells, too. But,
How
kills
long
bugs,
does it take
good
to
and
make?
dead. Oh, years if you do it badly. Minutes if you're really, really good. Somewhere between the two. But I've got this old melting pandemic to take care of. Man, was I asleep? I did have something earlier.
That's not a real thing. I was buying us some time. Well, I was trying to get her off our case, but buying time works well.
Oh, I
Just-
can assure you
just
it's a
it.
real thing.
Yeah.
I've
I think
seen it
there's a
happen.
brief cutaway to outside the ship, and the Raptor is like 5% the size of the Obliterator.
Mm. So
But
you're
you're right.
saying there's a chance.
Priorities are priorities. We got to take care of her first, and then, well, maybe it held off because I did all the inoculations. Crewman did seem to be okay, just belching a lot. Maybe I cured it.
Sure, we'll go with that. But about the chemical, if you could work on that, forget about the melting plague. Like we've got that contained and
If
taken care of.
only
Don't
I
worry.
could forget about the melting plague. But I see your point. I will put it out of my mind for the moment. I'll journal about it later, and then I'll be prepared to say all the eulogies if it doesn't go right. But for now, right, chemical. Yep, I can do that. Sure.
Great.
Just look it up.
Pilot.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's look at. You think you can break the tractor beam?
I was gonna try, and then I was gonna fire my mega torpedoes into their engines so that we could run away and get the planet between us and them and buy us even more time. But now
Well,
we have an
also
hour.
recall that our mission here is to prevent them from, I don't know, taking over the planet or something like that. And also they'll have shields, so I'm not sure how effective
What if
it's
we
going to
just
be to try
rammed
to
into
blow
them?
up the engine. Yeah, also
Well, that
shields.
would be the die trying part.
Okay,
Um,
okay. On the map then.
so
Gotcha.
so maybe we focus on just getting away for now,
Okay.
and we need to figure out what is going on here because she is not acting like someone who is known as a destroyer or
Well, see,
obliterator, whatever she is.
I think the present she wanted to send us was missiles.
Well, probably.
Well,
No, I think it was
no.
probably a boarding party that wants to eat us. But okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm.
Um.
I mean, there may have been food involved. Let's not jump to too many conclusions.
So.
I I have a plan.
Okay. Would
I'm
you
going
like
to
to
use
discuss?
our teleporters to teleport up a load of grain from the planet, and then I'm going to teleport it into the path of the tractor beam so that it blocks the tractor beam and they can't use it. And then we can escape. And I mean, if we can lead them on a chase, or uh,
So if we
maybe
get a lot of the grain and we just periodically
mm,
release a little bit behind us, they'll follow along.
well, that and like
I
if
don't.
we could we could teleport like a space mine in the grain, so when their tractor beam grabs the grain and pulls it in, they're pulling in the bomb.
I like it, although the bombing part's not something I like. What about this? I like your grain. I like your transporting. I like your chemical. What if we gave them a big gift of our own? A lot of grain that just happens to be suffused with a bit of this chemical. That way, we don't have to crack their shell. They'll happily eat this stuff because they eat everything. In fact, we might even be able to mold it to look like some of the crew members. And we can just say, hey, here's one of the sick crew members.
We could bake giant cakes that look like crew members out of the grain.
And then carve out a part in the
So
center to
while
put some crew
they're
members.
going back and forth with this, I'm gonna go do some research on thick
Gotcha.
manti.
Yeah, sure.
And like I just have this feeling like she's acting weird.
Mhm.
Like her speech pattern, it's just
Yeah.
something is off there.
Hmm.
I have a suspicion, but I'm going to do my research and I want to go in with no preconceived notions. Like a
This,
good scientist.
sure. This is going to be a lasers roll. However, I think you are going to get 3d6 in this case because, again, you're an expert. But you are also prepared because you previously read up on them. So you already knew some things about them. So you're able to really zero in. You don't have to start from scratch.
All right. This, I don't know what I need.
So you you want low numbers.
Low numbers. I got a 2 and a 4 and a 6.
Okay, so that's one success.
One success.
Yeah. So here's the good news.
Dice jail 2.
You absolutely have a very solid theory as to why she's acting this way.
Is it mating season? I feel like it's mating season.
It's not. Although it might actually. I think coincidentally it is mating season, but that's not the reason. You remember that her eyes looked like they had some crusty stuff. A little bit, and she doesn't really have ears, but there was some weird little sort of tendrily looking things over there, and you have discovered that those are the prime signifiers of brainworms.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Are they the tasty kind of brain worms?
It all depends on how you cook them, really.
Yeah,
I'd
so
rather
here,
not find
so
out.
the good news is, yeah, you think she's acting weird because she's been infested by, alien brainworms. Bad news is alien brainworms are really bad, And what they do is they make their hosts want to spread the alien brainworms.
Oh, those are the presents she wants to give us. Now I really don't want to lower the shields.
This sounds so familiar.
There's never. What are you talking about? There has never been anything sci-fi with this plot before. It's brand new.
I know why it sounds familiar. Never mind. Okay, so after doing my research, I'm gonna go up and inform the other crew members of what I have
So
discovered.
in the meantime, I want us to cut back. I want you guys to now give us 5 steps later in the plan you were making.
So what about the shape of a bunny rabbit? A giant bunny rabbit. Chocolate wrapped.
With the grain and the chemical.
Right. And crew.
No, we're not putting crew in there unless it's
I
toenails.
mean, that's the crunchy surprise.
the toenails. We'll put toenails in, but only the parts that we clip off ourselves. That's as much of the crew as they're getting.
Damn me and my perfect grooming. Mine are already short. I don't think this is going to work.
Just as a tangent, Aurora, having looked up all about thick manti and their preference for eating sentient creatures, it turns out that any part of a sentient creature counts, and so they actually would probably like the toenails.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I'm not gonna get involved in this conversation though, because that's just encouraging them.
Sure.
All right, so we've got the steps now. All we need to do is build this thing.
So some information for y'all. I don't know if this is gonna change your plan.
Did you
But,
take sculpture? We could really use a sculptor in this.
No, I skipped that class, but
Shame.
what do you know about brain worms, Mr.
Oh.
Doctor Man?
Terrible. Can't even really cook them properly, actually. It takes forever.
Kind of like that chemical you're supposed to be making?
Sure. Yeah, I should have started that a while ago.
Yeah, well, so if you could do that, that'd be great. I sound like what's his face from Lumbert from Office Space.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could just do that'd be great. Anyway, yeah, so pretty sure the present she wants to give us is the brain worms, and we don't want that.
No, I mean, 2 pandemics at the same time would be awful.
I'm not even going to correct him this time. You're right. It would be absolutely terrible.
I know.
So
That's why I made a doctor.
if we could like get the chemical and maybe if you know about brain worms, do you know what the cure is?
Well, I mean, you could just let it run its course. That pretty much kills everything. But there might be something else. I guess I can search my medical database.
I mean,
Has
we
anybody
could.
seen my
I
medical
suppose
database? I put it around here somewhere.
suppose we could just blow up the ship, but that seems like a tall
I got an ultra
order.
mega torpedo that I've been itching to try out.
Ooh, how bad the itching. I could take a look at that.
And I have the schematics to make it an ultra mega torpedo.
The shields might be a problem then. Like, I like where you're going. I like what you're selling here.
Mhm.
But getting it to the thing is the problem. Because we got to assume those shields are pretty thick.
Let's go back to the grain. Because they aren't going to have shields against grain. And I wonder if there's sentient grain here. We could tell them it's sentient grain. It wouldn't pass any test, couldn't add or anything, but, you know.
So the thing is, like, it could just look like a partial. It could just be a part of a creature that is sentient. It doesn't have to be the whole creature. Like, they're not going to talk
Rabbit-shaped.
to it.
Rabbit-shaped.
Toenail clippings. It just
I
needs
mean-
to be part of a sentient creature. And I have
This is why
amazing
the captain
toenails.
went grim.
Okay, so we've got 3/4 of a plan. All we're missing is that last part. I don't know what it is, but that's not important.
I clip
So
my toenails in front of everyone.
we've
I
got
actually have the impression that you have about 20% each of 3 different plans.
so if we merge them all together, that's like
If you
70%,
math it.
60%.
Yes.
I'm not sure how much that is.
You're doing great.
Yeah. Hey, we're above the 50% mark.
Mhm.
Right.
Do we get a
So
10% bonus for someone else having done some of the work?
always claim that 10% and always get someone else to do some of your work. How do you think I passed medical school?
So, I
Explains
mean,
so
but what
much.
I'll say is, like, obviously, any of the suggestions made so far are absolutely the sorts of things that we could roll to find out how it goes.
Right. So terrible chemical,
Mm-hmm.
grain and toenails,
Yep.
and brainworm. What do we got for brainworms?
Here's a thought to kind of put all of the plans together. What if we get one of these little shuttles and we say, hey, plague and stuff. So we're going to send over one little shuttle with, one person or something like that. And you can give us the presents and we'll be super happy and excited about that. And then we'll bring it back. But in reality, we can have a bomb on the shuttle
Hmm.
and the grain with the chemical in it, sure.
A
Mhm.
super ultra mega torpedo.
We could say we're trading gifts.
Yeah, that was my original thought for the gift was torpedoes.
I mean, it's
But
a
if
little
they pull the
exploding.
shuttle into the ship, we don't have to worry about the shields.
How am I going to
It
get any
just goes boop.
brainworms back?
Right. And we'll just put the toenail clippings on it as bait with the grain.
And then
The
we
But
don't have to worry about the
brainworms want the
brainworms.
toenail clippings.
We can get rid of the brainworms and the pirates at the same time.
well, I don't know what the brainworms want other than more brainworms. But
That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's the thick manti that want to eat sentient creatures. The brainworms don't care so much about that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Brainworms just want to spread because
man,
they kill their hosts.
I should really get started on that chemical then. All right,
Yep. You
because
do that,
the toenails are already clipped.
and I'll get the super ultra mega bomb
Hmm.
of insanity
Okay.
ready in the self-guided shuttle.
Hmm.
I'll remote pilot it.
All right. What's Aurora working on while those two things happen?
Probably a backup plan.
The actual plan.
Mhm.
Something that will
All
actually
right.
work.
Well, let's see how those two things are going first. So I think Dr. Max Danger, you're attempting to synthesize the antimantar chemical. Normally, you know that the regular process for synthesizing this substance would take way longer than you have.
It's all the safety protocols. Just turn those off. They just
Yeah.
slow things down.
So I want you to give me some science mumbo jumbo for how you are accelerating the process.
Well, it begins with the inoculant I made earlier. That will allow the human body to process just about anything, including the essential elements of this liquid. So by processing it through a human body, we gain a lot of benefits. All I have to do is figure out how I can get the crew to eat a lot of this and make sure to collect all their fecal matter afterwards. But
Hmm.
the system's plumbing can take care of most of that.
Okay. So I think that this is something you are an expert in. So
Scary.
let's get a lasers roll for you,
All right.
which means you're trying to get a low
I
number,
mean,
which is
what could possibly go wrong? Let's see. That's a 2 and a 3.
okay. Well, so that's only one success, but it is a laser feeling success.
Right.
So it's going to be a mixed success result. And I think your mixed success result is you manage to send out like a contagious update to the inoculation you already gave the rest of the crew. and you are not able to synthesize a separate amount of the of the anti-mantar, but you have now made it so that every time one of the inoculated crew members burps, they burp out the anti-mantar, and it smells really bad.
Except for mine, which
But
smells awesome.
But that means that if any of the thick manti get anywhere near them, it will be very dangerous for them.
Okay.
Not so much the brainworms, but the hosts. But now you also have a laser feeling, so you can ask me a follow-up question.
Yeah, yeah. First, the announcement. Good news. I've invented a new distribution method for the anti-mantar. All of our people are now protected and will be able to face off with them with confidence and gas. Laser feelings. In this instance, can I know if the entire fleet is infected or just the mothership?
I think you think it's just the mothership because the other ships aren't here, and that if they had the whole fleet infected, they would probably have traveled with the fleet together. And so you think that because it's just this ship, you think that the other pirates may have realized something was up with Glorba and didn't follow her.
Yep.
But what that means is right now, the Obliterator is a very big, dangerous ship, but it is the only ship. The rest of the fleet did not come.
Okay. That reminds me. Buck, just how good a pilot are you?
Heh, I'm awesome.
Good. And you see that ship's a lot bigger than ours, right?
So,
Ah, you know what that means?
we're faster and more nimble.
Well, yes. I mean, that's true too. No, it means it's full of holes. Holes that are big enough to fly a ship through.
Fly our ship through.
That's what I'm thinking.
So, in the meantime, Buck was also working on the upgrading one of your mega torpedoes into a super ultra mega torpedo. I think
Yes.
that is also going to be, it's a laser's roll. However, I don't know that you're necessarily, like, you're a hotshot pilot. I don't know that that makes you a hotshot weapon designer. So I don't really think you are prepared or an expert. But you can make a 1d6 lasers roll.
I got a 6.
Okay. So that's a failure. I think that you manage to, in the process of taking all of the explosives from all of the torpedoes on the ship and loading them into one torpedo case, you find that you have managed to disarm all of the explosives from all of your torpedoes. And now none of them will work, not even the regular ones. You're going to have, you accidentally neutralized all of them, and so now no bombs.
All right. Well, time for plan B. We're all going to go into the shuttlecraft and burp. Or no. Can you make a bunch of masks that capture the burp, and then we can just put all of that? What was the chemical?
Anti-mantar.
Mantar.
Anti-mantar.
Mm-hmm.
Capture all the anti-mantar and put it in the shuttle.
I mean, we couldn't capture all of it. There's a lot.
Well, I want to fill the shuttle with antimatter because I kind of accidentally neutralized all the explosives. But we don't need explosives because we're awesome.
I think you're a secret pacifist.
So the trick right now is that all of the crew members are constantly generating the chemical, but at a very slow rate that would make them dangerous in their immediate vicinity, but it would be difficult to capture a lot of it separate from the crew themselves. However, there's maybe a roll you could do about it.
Do you have any fizzy drinks on board?
Thinking of that, a little extra in force of nature.
What is your
Well, we can
Aurora-
certainly
oh,
try.
yeah, go ahead.
We should synthesize the fizziest drinks that we can think of.
I might have a vuvuzela around. That could help.
I think you have 15 minutes of your hour left, by the way. And also, your sensors show that the Obliterator is preparing a whole bunch of landing craft.
Hey, good news. They're working again.
Yeah.
So where are we at on breaking that tractor beam?
I'm ready when you are.
Well, we can try making a sort of projectile concentrating device to enable the, the anti-Mantir offensive weapon, the Belch offensive weapon. I'm still workshopping the name.
Yep. Space worms. Alien
I mean, it was going to be that. Or
brain worms.
at least it's not space herpes. We've
I
already
know.
dealt with
God,
that.
that would be so much worse.
Oh, we should probably contact, what's her name? Daisy?
Daisy.
Hi, I'm
I need-
Daisy.
yeah. We need to give her a call again and update her on the situation because she might have some ideas.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe they fought brainworms before. Who knows?
sure. So you hail them.
Yes.
And so I think the call picks up, and you have Daisy, but you can see that she is on the screen. She is kind of like ducked down on the side of like a space car, and she's got a lit Molotov cocktail in one hand. And says, "What is it?"
What? I'm not sure what's going on there, but I thought you guys should know that the pirates, we're dealing with a brainworm situation here.
Well, that's awful. 'Cause,
Yes, it is.
We were already panicking down here because we thought they were just going to come kill us all. But you realize that if they infect the food supply, anyone who gets food supply with brainworm eggs in it is going to get the brainworms.
Well, that's
Oh
really
yes,
bad.
we absolutely recognize that.
By the way, the fuse of this lit Molotov cocktail she's holding is just continuing to burn up.
Do you need to take care of that?
Oh, it'll keep.
I
okay.
like her. a lot.
What do you guys have in the way of explosives down there? Like aside from
Molotovs.
what you're holding?
Well, have a lot of fertilizer.
That could be useful.
Fertilizer can be mixed.
We're a
with...
bit stuck right now. We're in a tractor beam that but would it be possible for y'all to just, I don't know, launch a load of it our way? Or I don't know. How big of a teleport what's the radius on our teleporter?
I think the radius could certainly get down to the planet, but it's normally designed I think it does. It like Star Trek. It's normally people and cargo that is approximately people sized. It wouldn't normally be thousands of tons of something, but you could maybe do a roll for it. In the meantime, she says, "Hang on just a tick. Stay back, you dogs!" Sorry, so what do you want with the fertilizer? You want us to get it just ready for teleport or something?
Yeah, if you got a teleport platform, you send us the coordinates and we'll start beaming it up.
All right. I
Whatever you
assume you
can
know
send,
what
we
you're doing.
appreciate it.
We'll let you know when it's ready.
All right. Thanks so much.
Yep.
Bye.
So if
He
we
says
grow
it'll
our
take
own
about
crops,
14 minutes.
Of course it will.
Hmm.
All right, we need to get a team down to the teleport bay.
Yeah.
Any crew members with hands that can would just do like an assembly line type of thing.
All right.
and what are we doing with it?
Loading up a shuttle.
Huh. Okay.
We're reactivating the explosives with the fertilizer.
And our shuttles just happen to look like Cybertrucks.
Sure.
Oh no, this is going somewhere.
With Vegas license plates.
Oh no. No, 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 no.
So I think you are getting a shuttle ready. You have the crew on standby to by hand transport the fertilizer from the teleport bay to the shuttle.
I mean,
we
I'm
just use
looking
the
for any
teleport?
other
I-
ideas if
yeah.
anybody here wants to help.
I am enthralled.
We're just going to do a bucket brigade.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. And I'm going to offer just for fun that the teleport bay and the shuttle bay are on opposite sides of the ship.
Of course they are.
Of
Not
course.
not because it takes a long time. It's not a huge ship, but it does just mean that you need to, transport that fertilizer across the whole ship.
Yep.
And I'm sure we have anti-grav lifts that can just like people can just like push it down the hall. So it won't be like people are carrying like 2 tons of crap.
It kind of sounded like a bucket brigade, though. Like
Yeah. Only with
Anti-grav
anti-grav pallets.
Yep. Anti-grav
buckets.
buckets.
Yeah.
Space buckets. Yeah. Big space buckets.
Okay, so the question is, once all the fertilizer is in there, how do we trigger the boom? Since someone decided to, well,
Can you make a sensor that will detect the special chemical that I can't remember the name of?
well, if we had an
Anti-Mantar. How
engineer-
could you forget that?
Anti-Mantar. I don't know. My brain is so fried. Anti-Mantar. Because
I keep
when
thinking
they
of
open
Gravity
up
Falls.
the
I'm sorry, the Mantars and Gravity Falls. I can't.
when they open up the shuttle to receive our presents, the anti-Mantar will dissipate into their ship, and if we can sense that, then we can use that as the trigger for the bomb.
couldn't we just use the opening of the door?
I
Any sparkle do?
suppose you could just, tie a string to the door and hook that to a
Hey,
grenade.
I'm not a
string.
scientist.
A space string, of course.
Of course.
I'm sure.
So yeah.
Whatever it was. All right.
Alrighty then.
Meanwhile, I'm going to get a bunch of crew to breathe into some bags.
All right. So the
Tie
goal.
the bags up, and we can just in their face.
All right. Yeah. So this is, I think, going to be another lasers roll. I think you want to try to. You know what? I think you're an expert in getting patients to breathe into a bag. That seems like something a doctor might do. And I know that you
Just
have
like one of those pumpy things,
you
like
have a
they
low
use
number.
for like
Yeah.
CPR.
Yeah, like that's a thing that you've got. You've got breathing bags.
Sure.
So I'll say that you are an expert, but you're making a lasers roll to try to
All right.
capture some of this anti-Mantar.
This is going to go badly, and it goes terribly.
Oh dear.
6 and a 4.
6 and a 4. So
occurred to me.
that's
Aren't all of our uniforms also like spacesuit type things?
yes.
So maybe if we activate those, like, because I would assume they've got some kind of respiration type of thing
Well,
going
so
on.
here's the thing. We just did a roll and it's going to be
Mm.
a failure. However, I like your idea. I think that if you can do a roll to say that you're helping with that, we will let him make one more die. We'll roll one more die.
Hold a 3.
Okay, well, 3 is your number, right?
Yes, that
So
is my
that
number.
means that your idea of using the vacuum suit element of the uniforms is going to offer some assistance to Dr. Max Danger, PhD's plan. So you can roll one more die, Doctor.
You know, that sounds really obvious when you say it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Rolled a 1.
Yeah.
That's a success.
All right. It is a mixed
Yay!
success, but yeah, still. So that means that you now, with this assistance, are going to be capturing some of this this chemical. And Aurora has a laser feelings question.
Oh, um, let's see. Um, okay. It's really hard not to say like, what are our chances of success? No. Um,
It depends on the
1 in a
dice.
million.
Yeah.
where approximately do we think like when things get pulled in with the tractor beam, do we have any idea like where on the ship it might end up?
Yes, you think that it has a great big cargo bay. It is designed as a pirate vessel. So what they usually use the tractor beam for is to bring a ship into its enormous cavernous cargo bay so that they can basically dismantle it for parts and that sort of thing. And so the tractor beam would normally take anything it's pulling into there. But right now it's just holding you outside.
Okay.
All right. So you've got the fertilizer is being prepared. You've got the crew on standby to transport it from the transporter bay to the shuttle when the time comes. You have got a bunch of bags of anti-mantar gas. What's next? The clock is ticking.
Next, we launch the shuttle with
Do
the
we want
bomb
to tell
on
them it's a
board.
gift?
Yes, yes.
I think we tell
we
them
should.
it's a
Well,
gift.
we can't launch the shuttle until we have the fertilizer. That
Maybe
hasn't
I
been
can get
sent
a little
yet.
more time
Oh.
if I tell them it's a gift that we're cobbling together for them. I mean, it's only fair.
Yeah, and
That
we're
was
gonna
actually- I
have
had a
some of
similar
our
idea.
crew bring it to them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And we can tell
like,
them
we're going to send you a
packing them
ship,
full
and then you'll
full
have to
of
send it back.
the people that didn't survive from the other pandemic. They might like
Yeah.
that little extra for the gift too. Yeah.
Yes.
I probably won't tell them that we killed them in order to give them to them because that would be probably wrong. But
Probably.
all right. Let's call that lovely queen.
All right. Hailing frequencies open. Once again, this thick mantis, pirate queen, Blorga the Devastator is on screen, and the crusty stuff around her eyes and little wiggling worms coming out of her ear holes are even more obvious. But then she just is like, "Hey guys, how's it going? You just about ready?"
So happy to see your queeniness. I mean, it's been a very
Aw.
thrilling hour so far, but I got to say, you offered us a gift. And honestly, you know, I'm not that guy that shows up to a party without something. I bring some really nice wine or I bring a date that I can share, whatever. But in this case, you caught me a little flat-footed. And honestly, it was a little bit tricky, but we have managed to pull together what I think is going to be an incredible gift for you. And we'd like to have a little more time to make sure we get it together properly. You know how it is when you want to wrap something and you want to make sure it's just perfect. It's kind of I don't know. You know, there's a lot of stories coming out about, well, your ship and our ship. I don't know if you've scanned the registry. If you do, you're going to find some posts that definitely did not come from me. And don't do that. Whatever. Don't look up the ships. It's trash. I tell you. It's a horrible story, and it's only about half true. So I figure that if we can work together here, we can really come to a great platform for interstellar peace, cooperation, and a lot of great meals. I mean, I'm talking some fantastic meals. So, we'd like to exchange gifts with you. I feel like that's just the least we can do. We're working on it right now. I didn't want to say anything, but you gave us an hour, and honestly, it's been hard to pull it together. Not all the crew, okay, just between you and me, not all the crew are able to pull their weight in exactly the right ways. I mean, there are some people here, I've worked with them, and they refuse the augments, so they have to do it the old-fashioned way with flesh. It's frustrating. Anyway, so we pull it all together, but we're not quite there. And I frankly feel a little embarrassed. This has been a lot of hard work, and like I said, I don't show up to a party without something in hand. So, have I bought them enough time yet?
I was going to say, that was a whole roller coaster. How about you roll a feelings roll to see how well
Sure.
it works?
Sure. I don't know if this is just a straight up one die.
I think so, unless you want
All
to
right.
try to explain why it would be more.
I mean, it is kind of dangerous.
Well, that doesn't mean
But-
that it. Oh, well, because I guess that is your style, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
No, I think just one.
All right, I rolled a 6. That's a definite success.
Okay, it is a mixed success because that's what a
'Cause
one.
I've only got one die,
success.
yeah.
So, but she just goes, "Well, that is just the sweetest thing. This body does have some special memories of someone from that ship.
Oh, I'm sure that
So-
body does.
Oh boy, I could probably tell you stories, but I just am blown away because you didn't have to do that. That's just you know what? That's such a sweet thing, and I don't want to get us off on the wrong foot because I agree we're going to have just a great alliance where we can all get along and all think the same things and feel the same things and then help the rest of the galaxy feel the same things and think the same things, and it's going to be great. So yeah, you can have another hour, but we are going to start sending our landing craft down to the planet in the meantime. Okay?
Um, I would be careful about that. They're having a little bit of an issue right now. I didn't want to say anything,
it
but
the
I
melting
think
Leg
thing?
came from.
no, it sounded kind of like a civil war. At least as far as I
you
could
know
tell.
what? Well, I think they're just scared because they see a giant pirate ship in orbit. But as soon as we give them our present, it'll calm right down. You'll see.
Oh, geez, you might want to get them some notice though, so they can get a present ready for you. I mean, this whole gift giving thing has really got to go both ways.
Well, they don't know us. We don't expect it. We have to make the first offering. So in any case, you can have another hour and we're going to start launching. So talk to you later.
Well, that went well.
It's not like a bunch of landing craft just suddenly start speeding down to the planet, but it does look like they are getting ready to launch.
Good news, we got another hour. Bad
Yep.
news, we don't have another hour. So, yeah.
They are focused
Where-
on that though now.
Where are we at with the fertilizer?
Well, so you now with more time are going to get that fertilizer at basically 59 minutes of your original hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've done all of the work. Well, so here's the thing. You set everybody up to do that transfer. And I think that it sounds like a feelings role to get the whole crew to cooperate in that way. and it's definitely prepared. So I think that we need someone to make a feelings roll to manage that job quickly.
Okay.
So that would be a 2d6 feelings roll for you.
I get a 1 and a 4.
Okay, so that means it's one success. And I think I'll just go ahead and say that the complication in this is that the fertilizer is teleported up, and apparently something that you thought would be obvious, but I guess wasn't entirely clear, is that they did not send it up with containers.
God.
Ugh.
So you have just, yes, transported
Mm.
several tons of fertilizer without a container directly into your transporter room. And it's certainly, you
Can I-
have it now, and you can begin efficiently transporting it to the shuttle as planned. But you're not sure that transporter room is ever going to stop smelling like that fertilizer.
Can our little like scanner gun things, do they have shrink rays on them?
Shrink rays. I think that's not a standard function, but maybe someone with science skills could engineer something like that.
I'm not that kind of scientist.
What kind of scientist are you? You are a scientist. That's what you decided.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You
I'll
are
give it
the
a shot.
scientist.
All science is the same. Everybody knows this.
Yeah.
Just remember to turn the dial all the way over,
Yeah.
and then a little bit more.
So this would be a lasers roll. A lasers roll, and you would be an expert because it's science.
Okay, so we need more than
No, for
3?
lasers, you want under your number.
Under 3. Okay. I got 2 1s.
Okay, that's 2 successes. Yes, you have configured your little variable beam of phase pistol to shrink mode.
Set phaser to shrink.
Mhm, 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 mhm.
Make it so.
Okay, what?
Shrinking all that.
You're
all
shrinking.
that all that poo.
Okay, great. Why?
Well, it makes it a lot easier to transport several tons.
Oh, see,
of
I was actually
fertilizer.
going to say that the complication you got was just that it's making the teleporter room all smelly, but that you already got the success of transporting it.
Oh, I thought that was just getting it to the ship and not to the shuttle. 'Cause we still
No,
have to-
no. That was that
Okay.
part was easy enough. But yeah, so you've already managed to get
Oh,
it
okay.
to
Well,
the
then-
shuttle. Now, but you also have a shrink right now.
Yeah, that might come in handy.
Hmm. I mean, you could use it to fit more fertilizer into the shuttle.
It's true. And just kind
Ooh.
of condense it all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so once that's moved out, I think we need another we need more. So I need to contact Daisy, have her
Mhm.
send some up or something like that.
Well, no, I think you've got plenty. You
Yeah,
don't.
we
need
have
to
enough.
Yeah.
I
So
think we're ready to launch.
I think
Okay.
so I think is what it sounds like is still missing is fertilizer is certainly an important and necessary component of explosive, but you're still going to need something to detonate it. And I don't think that is necessarily a terribly difficult thing to arrange in a shuttle.
MacGyver or something.
But yeah, I think you need something. So someone needs to do something to you know what? I take it back. I think that is a straightforward sort of mechanism that you could set up in the shuttle. But what you do need is something that is going to like the shuttle. What's the plan exactly? How is the shuttle is currently in your shuttle bay. What is the actual next thing that's intended to happen?
So I had a thought. It's not a nice thought. But I'm thinking, what if they scan the shuttle for life forms? Right. So there's got to be something alive on there, kind of.
Mhm.
What if we sent the pod with the captain?
I mean, it's reinforced. The explosion's supposed to take out a really big ship, though, or at least its
Yeah.
tractor beam.
Mhm. Mhm.
It might be reinforceable even more.
Mm, he's not been a real nice person.
Look, sacrifices have to be made. And
And
I
then
know
like
the
that could like
captain, and he would sacrifice himself to save the planet
Well, yeah,
and the
and
food supply and our ship.
not to mention a little revenge for the way that relationship did not end well. There's a lot of therapy involved.
and his service record would reflect honorable service. Could be
Yeah.
the
Would
last
clean up
thing
his
he's
reputation
remembered
a
for
little
is
bit.
saving the galaxy. So
Yeah.
I think this is a good choice.
Okay, so no reinforcement of the pod then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have now loaded the fertilizer and the medical pod containing Captain Darcy onto the shuttle.
Yes. And I'm going to tie a piece of string to the door and have a bunch of grenades packed into the explosives and fertilizer
Love it. I love it.
so that the pins all get pulled
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with by the multiple strings. I want some backups there, and then I'm going to remote pilot it over after the doctor talks to the pirate queen and tells her that the ship is on its way.
All right. So
We do that.
I think that Blorga is just like, oh my stars, I cannot believe it. Captain Darcy is my present.
I mean, I didn't want to spoil the surprise, but
Oh,
yeah. I mean,
that's amazing. Oh boy, I can't wait. This was worth the wait.
when I told him, he had nothing to say. It was just like it floored him.
He was speechless.
Well, we're going to open up our cargo bay doors and you just send them on over.
Absolutely.
It's on the shuttle. Captain Darcy's piloting the shuttle over right now.
Yeah. So I think now, Buck, you need to make your prepared expert lasers roll because you're trying to get lower than your number. You're rolling 3d6, and this one is for the whole plan now.
All right. Well, these dice have been rolling high all night. Hopefully, they will change their mind. I got a 2, I got a 6, and I got a 1.
That is 2 successes. So because you got 2 successes, there is the Blorga comes on screen as she is now obviously in the cargo bay. You see the shuttle there. And she's broadcasting. Is just, I just thought that I'd come on and do one of these like live kind of unboxing video, and so here's the shuttle that's got the present from the Raptor, and we're gonna go give them brainworms later, but first let's open up and then the screen just goes white, and the tractor beam releases. And the obliterator is now blasting into pieces. And because you got 2 successes, the debris is not going to rain down over the planet. However, 10 landing craft had managed to get out first and are now on their way down to the planet.
All right. let's do some duck hunting. Fire up the lasers. Guess I used all the torpedoes already.
All hands to battle stations.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Brace
not
yourselves.
a drill.
All right. So I think that this is there are a bunch of them. Let's go ahead and I think this is probably Buck again, right? You're trying to what? Just shoot them down?
Yeah, I'm gonna start by shooting them down, but we should also have a plan B, like teleport those bags of um, anti-mantar down to
Hey.
Daisy, so that she can have them at the landing site of those shuttles and at least kill the hosts, which hopefully would make it easier to kill the brainworms.
Better than that, we can send the crew as well, because they'll just keep making more. I don't know when it's going to stop. It could be a while. They might be very ill soon.
All right. Well, I mean, save.
Well, the good news there is they're not going to be complaining about the smell of the anti-mantar anymore, not with the fertilizer smell filling the ship.
True. And this gets them out of the ship for a while, which they might
Yep.
not want to come back.
Hey. Yep.
Okay, so the idea then is that is the backup there is to defeat any thick manti who manage to land.
Yes.
And in the meantime, you're otherwise trying to shoot down the landing craft before they land.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's get an expert lasers roll from Buck to see how effective you are at shooting down the landing craft.
All right. Trying to roll low.
Yep. 2d6.
I'm not
2,
helping.
3, and 6.
Well, I said to roll 2, so I think that I will go ahead and say that you with the roll 2 again, because I don't want
All
to
right.
say which of those two to lose. So just roll 2d6.
All right. Well, I'm taking the 2 and the 3 and re-rolling those. 'Cause
Fair enough.
those dice got the message.
Yeah.
A 1 and a 3.
Okay, so that is 2 successes. I think you managed to shoot down 9 of the landing craft. And so there's only one that managed to evade your precise lasers. But
Can we give chase and use tractor beam?
well, I think that's something that maybe you could do a roll for.
Okay.
So
That's
wanna
like
make-
two things. Okay.
yeah, well, no, I think the tractor beam is but you're doing one roll for amounting to both of these things here. So I think this is a science roll, so it's a lasers roll to try to get the tractor beam on them.
Okay. So yeah. That's a 2.
Okay, so that is 1 success. I think the you managed to get the tractor beam on it. Let's see. I'm just trying to think what the mixed success could be, because I don't want to just invalidate the success of it, but there needs to be an additional complication. I think that you manage to seize the landing craft in the tractor beam, and it is already pretty small, and it was kind of damaged already from the firefight, and it breaks apart in the tractor beam, and so it is destroyed. And it just so happens that occurs just after the rest of the thick mantis fleet jumps into the system. And so what they arrive to is, from their perspective, the field of debris that was their command ship and the consortium scout ship Raptor firing and shooting down all of their escape pods. Boop. Boop.
To be continued.
So another success is what you're saying.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent.
So I think you're being hailed by the
Put it through.
You're on.
Hey there.
Can I help you?
We see that you have initiated hostilities and have destroyed our glorious pirate queen's vessel and fired on escape pods. We will destroy you for this.
3 things wrong, 1 thing right. I'll see if I can get this straight for you, and then you can thank us later. In whatever way you feel appropriate. Don't feel like you have to send gifts. Trust me, gifts don't always work out. Yes, there was an explosion that caused your queen's ship to be destroyed. That actually is true. You're correct in that one. And be careful, because if it can happen once, it can happen again. But that's not a threat. That's just a kind of a side comment. The other thing is, can you show me your eyes and turn your head slightly and cough for me, if you don't mind?
Like this?
Yeah. Okay. Any sign of the crustiness or the wigglies?
No.
Okay. Good. I'm so happy to see you're healthy. I haven't had a lot of time with experience with your species. I'd like to amend that, actually, but that's again a side comment, a vacation for another day. You see, your queen had certain appendages which I don't think are common to your species. Things that were wiggling around what would be ear-like spaces and some very crusty eyes. A sign of space worms. There's a complicated Latin term for that. I don't know it, so neither do you. But let's just call them really ugly
Spacicus
wigglies.
wormicus.
Yeah, wormicus is kind of the nominative. No, anyway, if you're familiar with space worms, I can give you a lecture. If you're not familiar with space worms, I'll give you a slideshow instead later on. But basically, your queen was infested with these things, which is the worst possible thing that can happen to just about anything, including, well, you. But
Go ahead
thankfully-
and do a feelings roll to see
Sure.
if he cuts your blather off.
Sure, I am an expert doctor. And this is a medical situation. This is
You know
totally a
what?
medical
Okay,
situation.
Sure.
I was not prepared for this, even though I was
Alright.
thinking about this earlier.
Feelings roll, sure. Expert.
Medicine includes psychology, right?
Yeah,
I'm allowing it.
Yeah, you shouldn't have.
This is feelings.
So that was a 5 and a 3. So.
Okay, so.
Oh wait, no, I want over for feelings.
Yeah,
That's
you
2
do.
successes.
So that is 2
Holy shit.
successes. So they
I don't know what to do with a success.
Oh, brainworms. That explains a lot, honestly. Blorga was acting very oddly before she
Yeah.
departed for this planet. And although we are enraged by your decision to blow up the ship instead of simply eliminating her and the infected personnel, we could have used that ship. We at least understand the intent of your, actions. However, we are still pirates. We've just lost one of our big ships, so I think we'll take yours.
Coming back to point 1, we destroyed the biggest ship in your fleet with this ship. Do you really want to push it? Because we've had a long day. We're farting a kind of methane that you do not want. And honestly, we're a little bit in mourning. And that is a bad combination on a good day. On a bad day like today, look, I'm just going to give you a chance. Go. It won't look bad on your reputation. You can use the worms to let everybody know just how bad it was. And it won't get into a battle that you're just not prepared for.
Let's
say they
get
blew it up.
another feelings roll. This one I don't think is you're not an expert in this one.
I am dangerous, but no.
Yeah, I think this is a 1d6.
Anybody helping? No, not helping.
How do I help? I have to have an idea.
You would have to tell me what you're doing to help. And then you would do a roll to see if it
Actually, you could insinuate that maybe they could take the credit for overthrowing previous leadership.
Oh, I'll do that. You know, um, if you wanted to, and we would support you in this, you could take credit for overthrowing your queen and killing the brainworms, which would make you heroes. And you know, there's a whole lot of people that would, you know,
Be super scared of you
choose to
now.
do business with
Mhm.
you until you decide to piratize them.
So here's the way the helping works: is you now, Buck, make a feelings roll, 1d6.
So I want high.
You
Yeah.
want high.
6.
All right. So that means that is enough of an intriguing idea that you're giving one extra die to Dr. Max Danger, PhD.
All right.
For
You know what he said makes a lot of sense.
mm-hmm.
All right. Time for some max bullshit. Oh, it was almost max bullshit. 2 3s.
2 3s.
I have a 2. So those are both successes.
Those are both successes. So they say, you know, maybe you have a point there. Perhaps we can let you escape our wrath for today. But be warned, if we find you in the space lanes, we will show you no mercy in the future.
Next time, full physical.
Also, if we find out that you tell anybody that you blew up the queen instead of us, we are gonna find you and hunt you down and eat your toenails. And then the rest of you.
We are the crew of the Raptor. We would never take credit for your kill.
Very well. And then the fleet jumps away. And
Just
I
like
think
medical school, lying works.
Daisy hails you and just says, "Wow, y'all! I'm gonna go ahead and just say straight up, you didn't really make the greatest first impression when you showed up. We kind of thought we were done for, and then it turned out they were brainworms. It was even worse. But hell, if you didn't take care of business."
Oh, that
Well,
wasn't us.
technically, it was the remainder of the thick mantis fleet that came through and took care of their own business. They policed their own kind. So we
Yeah.
just sort of facilitated that.
We took
Oh,
care of the landing craft that kept your planet from getting infected with brainworms.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Kind of an afterthought,
the
really.
queen, yeah,
okay. Well,
that was their
since
fleet.
since you only did half the job, then I think we're going to go ahead and keep this incredible reward we were going to give y'all. But I suppose we could still let you keep whatever leftover fertilizer you didn't use in your plan there. You
Why,
you
thank
could
you.
keep that gratis.
We
Appreciate the
appreciate
deal.
that. That's awesome. Although, I mean, we did do half the work and we kept them off your planet, so maybe
Bye
half the
now.
reward.
She hangs up.
You
We
know,
aren't in this line of work for the rewards, if I have to remind you, Mr. Pilot, sir.
Yeah. So you
That's
suddenly
Commander.
have a
And
new
now
message incoming from consortium headquarters.
Acting captain.
right, this one's
Yes.
for you.
Acting Captain Buck Sparkmeister here.
This is Admiral Jones, Raptor crew. I have incredible news for you. Scientists back at headquarters have finally discovered a cure for Captain Darcy's condition.
Well, that's I am sorry to tell you that Captain Darcy has passed away.
You know, it's really the story of Captain Darcy's life. Too little, too late. But
Yes. He died doing
Much as he lived,
yeah,
what he
yeah,
loved,
yeah.
which was serving the
as
consortium.
little as possible.
Uh-huh.
Raptor!
And he could have done that job in his sleep.
And I think that's where we will end
Reputation
tonight's
intact.
game.
Must preserve
And
the
that,
story.
everyone, is Lasers and Feelings.
That was really, really weird.
Good job. Yay.
This is
We
a
saved
fun
the
game.
planet.
If anyone wants to check it out for themselves, I think probably a lot of people know about it already, but you can find it at www.17design, spelling out the numbers as words.com/laserfeelings. Or you could probably just Google Lasers and Feelings. It's free, it's one page, it's easy, and it's super fun. And in the meantime, hopefully, soon we will return to the Pocket Protectors adventure once we can actually get all of our players in a virtual room at the same time. But for now, we're still having fun, and I hope you all will stay tuned for more adventure on so many levels.
So many levels.
So many levels.
And pew pew pew.